Hey, my friend, have you ever wondered where to get a free family guide to spiritual warfare? This is critical because if you're like me, you are trying your absolute best to build a peaceful, Christ centered home. But it feels like media, stress, and invisible friction are constantly breaching your front door. Yep, that spiritual warfare is real, and you are in the right place. And by the end of today's episode, you'll know how to get our free guide with 6 steps to help you fortify your home and family. You'll also know how to run a home sanctuary audit and how to step into your power as a living catalyst. We will also show you how to stay fully yoked to God, even and especially when chaos hits. Stay tuned.
Ordinary women, extraordinary faith. When God calls, we say yes.
Hello, my friend, and welcome back to the Arise Women of God podcast. I'm your host, Tamara K. Anderson, and joining me today is the wonderful Wendi Christensen. Wendi is an amazing Christian counselor and a licensed social worker with over 30 years of experience. And together, we're going to unpack a few critical pieces of our free booklet for defending your household, our A Mother's Spiritual Defense Guide. All right, my friends, here is our battle map for today's episode. First, we're going to talk about the living catalyst principle, how a mother can shift the entire spiritual weather of her home. Second, the Home Sanctuary Audit. We're going to expose how media, social media loops, and physical objects can open spiritual portals or lower your household's frequency. Third, we're going to talk about guarding your little ones and being able to discern age-appropriate content so that fear and trauma don't open unnecessary doors for the adversary. And Wendi's going to give us some good hacks on that. But first, let's begin with step number 2 from our guidebook, the catalyst principle. As mothers, we often fall into the trap of trying to force or control our kids or our spouses so that they can change. But in the spiritual chemistry of our homes, we are the living catalyst. While a chemical catalyst triggers a reaction in others, a living catalyst begins by allowing God to transform her own heart first. I remember vividly talking to one of my sister warriors one day when I first became aware of this principle. She was struggling with a teenage daughter and prayed to know how to fix her. Sound familiar? I know how that feels. The whisper that came from heaven, though, surprised her. God simply said, "Start with yourself." What? Really? But oh my goodness, you guys, she listened and did start working on herself. And miraculously, her relationship with her teenager improved dramatically. I have also implemented this principle in my own home and have noticed the same success. You are the only person in your home over whom you have God-given capacity to change. When you prioritize your own spiritual health and draw close to the Savior, you become a beacon of light, and you're able to more easily discern the subtle ways Satan attacks your family. And to do this, you must stay yoked to Jesus Christ. But prioritizing God doesn't mean having a perfect, conflict-free life. It means having a direct line to heaven when the storm hits. I remember so many times when my children were teenagers and major issues or sudden spiritual attacks would inevitably erupt while my husband was traveling. And so I had to lean entirely on God to help me stay calm in the middle of the crazy storm. But I learned that being yoked to Jesus gave me the exact words to say and taught me how to de-escalate the tension. It also showed me how to call down the powers of heaven and to bless my kids and bring His peace back into our home. When a mother changes her internal state, the spiritual weather of the entire home shifts. But to keep that line strong, we also have to guard what comes into our sanctuary. In our guidebook, we break down the Home Sanctuary Audit, and I invite you to listen to Wendi as she now explains how media and social media and even physical items bring an energy or a portal into our homes.
The thing that I wanted to say about things like movies, social media, TV, can Satan enter our home through those things? Absolutely. Absolutely. I have seen it because everything has an energy to it. And when you bring something into your home that doesn't have a good energy to it, you're going to feel it in your home. And it can almost even be, I know this sounds a little woo woo crazy out there, but it's like a portal. It can even bring a portal into your home if you're bringing in something that doesn't have a good spirit to it. And it can affect and it can impact the people in your home. So when you're going to watch movies, I always go, okay, does this movie have a good feeling to it? Or does it have a negative feeling to it? If it has a negative feeling to it, then I throw it out. There are even Disney movies that I have thrown out because it does not have a good feeling to it. Or there are spots that I'll skip intentionally because it doesn't feel right to me and it doesn't feel good. So kind of weighing where that's at. Social media has so many wonderful things that it can. And if you're following good people and good influencers, it can bring the spirit of Christ with you and to you. It can also bring the adversary to you. It can bring feelings of doubt and comparison, especially with social media. Whenever I'm looking at something that's not like maybe a friend, but a common like Facebook group, for example, and I'll read comments and they go really negative really quickly, I find that the best thing for me to do is just to close it out and shut out of it and get out of it as quickly as possible. Because when you start getting sucked into that negative space, it will spiral you downward quickly and fast. And you're going to want to jump into the argument. And it does have an impact on you and it can have a huge impact on your home. So be very aware of the adversary and how he works on those types of things like your movies and your social media and those media influences. Even the songs and the music that you listen to can have a huge impact on your own energy and where you're vibrating, because we all vibrate at a certain level. And when you're bringing in negative things, it actually makes you vibrate on a lower level. The more positive and good influences that you bring into your home, the more you can help you vibrate on a higher level, but also your home to vibrate on a higher level. In fact, when I've bought pieces of furniture off of, like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or whatever. When I bring those into my home, I almost mentally do like a clearing of any negative energy from that piece of furniture that I'm bringing in and inviting it to bring in good light and good energy. Sounds really weird, but the things you bring into your home have a huge influence on the people around you. So be cautious about that and be aware of that, so that that can provide a better defense for you and bringing in good things that your family is viewing and experiencing.
That home sanctuary audit is such a vital tool. Just as you wouldn't leave your front door wide open at night, you cannot leave the spiritual doors of your home unlocked. Allowing toxic media or negative social media to come in and have your family spiral. As parents, we need to be vigilant about what we allow our young children, especially, to absorb. Let's listen as Wendi shares a powerful story about protecting our children.
If Hollywood puts PG-13 rating on a movie and that's Hollywood, then how much more do I shut down who've been exposed to PG-13 movies that are younger? Um, like, for example, I saw this kid. I went to the movie theater with my husband, who's a big Marvel fan, and it was when the new Avengers Infinity Wars were coming out, right? That movie has a lot of warring in it. It has a lot of monsters and creatures and lots of scary things for a little kid. I remember after the movie, because it was like a 3-hour movie, and I went to the bathroom. My husband and I had to run to the bathroom, and I actually somehow beat my husband out of the bathroom, which is a rarity. So I beat him, and I was standing outside, and I was standing next to this father, and he had this young boy that was probably 2 or 3 years old that was standing next to him, and he had taken him to the movie. And this little boy was just standing there, and he was like, well, what about those monsters, Daddy, that attacked that building? And what happened to them? And what, like, he was so traumatized by this movie, and I could see he was in trauma. And the father was just standing there, like, oh yeah, they're fine. Oh yeah, it was okay. Like, everything's fine. You're good. Yep, it's. He was totally dismissing these concerns and these worries of this little boy who could not comprehend what he had just seen. he was so scared and so like traumatized by this movie, that then will open him up to more trauma because it didn't get resolved for him. So that's why you need to be extra careful about what is it that I'm exposing like young kids to? What are they being exposed to? Because as adults, we're used to it, but young kids aren't. That's why there are ratings on movies, because it does affect and impact them. So that's why I'm saying if it's Hollywood that makes that, then I really need to, as a mom, try to be in tune with what are my standards and what are the standards for my family that's going to keep us vibrating and at a good level and not traumatize my kids. So,
Well, my sister, my friend, you are the spiritual guardian of your household, and you do not have to defend your family alone. Wendi and I want to put our complete step-by-step playbook directly into your hands. Down in the show notes below, click on a link to get our free digital guidebook, our Mother's Spiritual Defense Guide, 6 Empowering Steps to Fortify Home and Family. This guide walks you through step 1, partnering with God and understanding agency. Step 2, becoming a living catalyst, like we talked about today. Step 3 is mastering discernment. Step 4 is the word for word cast out the adversary prayer. Step 5 and 6 is wielding God's word and logging your miracle moments. Plus, you'll get the exact Home Sanctuary Audit checklist Wendi talked about to help you audit your media. Go ahead, download your free copy today and step boldly into your calling as a mother warrior of light. And until next time, my friend, may you arise. Yoke yourself to Jesus Christ and do it God's way, God's strong.
If today's episode helped you feel a little closer to God, please like and subscribe.